Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, reporting from the home isolation quarantine bunker, whatever we want to call it, as I'm about ready to finally start making videos. Today is Wednesday, it's day one of not allowed to work from our offices, and it was an interesting day so far. It's actually far later into the day than I wanted to make my first video, but I ran into all sorts of snags. I have to first say the big thank you to my wife Holly and my son Elijah, who cleaned the room that I'm currently in. I'm actually out in our sunroom, which is I don't know different countries what they call it, a 3-season room. It's a room basically that you don't go out in the winter because it's not insulated. And so I've got heaters. I'll pick up the camera in a second and show you around what it looks like behind and beside the camera. And so they cleaned it out because it was a big mess, because we normally clean it out in the spring and just have a ton of stuff stored in here. Brought the computer from the office and just had some fun in setting up some quarantine-ish isolation apocalypse kind of stuff. By the way, this is no good for coronavirus. This is just a spray painting mask and other stuff like that. So I just want to show you around and show you what I have set up. This is not going to be like the first official content. This is just like a, hey, vlog kind of thing. But the thing that's been frustrating today is having to go back to the office several times because I kept remembering I forgot stuff. I'm like, oh, I need to go get a chair. I need to, the little cord for taking footage off my camera, I forgot that. And the one I have here is broken. And there was like 3 things I had to go out for. And then the heater that we have here wasn't strong enough, so I had to go and pick up a heater. I'm like, we're supposed to be in isolation, and I keep being forced to go out and do stuff, but it is what it is. So let me show you around, and then I'll talk briefly about the ideas that I have for content, and I'll to get your feedback too. So I'm going to post this video right away as soon as I figure out how to edit, because I don't do our editing, and so Colin's going to help me virtually or remotely figure out how to do editing. So this video, I apologize that the lighting isn't that great. It's the best I can do, and so I'm just going to move on from there. So let's show you around. So as I pick up the camera and start to look around, so this is what a sunroom is. It's where it's all crappy insulated stuff, and it's really plain and kind of ugly too, but we didn't care because it's just a sunroom. So that's why I set up some fake shelves. Well, they're real shelves, but just putting stuff on it that would normally just be in our pantry or food storage room. And yeah, so I got with a desk and the computer from work. I got this little lamp for one light here, this other piddly light right here. We got a lot of light coming in, but and then we've got a little bit of light, but it's that's like orange light, and then we got daylight, but kind of cloudy daylight, and then we got this light and these lights, which are more white lights. And so if the color's not perfect or the lighting's not perfect, I apologize. It's just not what I'm going to be able to do. So yeah, I'm set up here so that I can record. And then I got a table back here as well that I might actually film maybe some battle reports, like not 40K or anything, but I might pull up Battletech. I've actually been wanting to do a campaign with my son. So I recently downloaded this off of Catalyst Game Labs and then printed it off before everything went into shutdown. And so we could play out here. We got lots of light. Just have to kind of clean up the background as well a little bit here. So yeah, you can see that got all sorts of crap in the background. I brought home some books, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, some 40K and Age of Sigmar with the intent. So here's some of the ideas that I have for what I'll do. Actually, you know what? I'll talk to you in a second. So some of the ideas that I have for content I'm going to make, like I mentioned, I want to try to make some Battletech battle reports with Elijah. We'll see how those turn out. Like I said, it's not going to be the ideal setting in here for all that, but whatever. But I also want to do some talking head videos where I'm just talking to you guys about various things. And there we go, that's better. Yeah, there we are. I think that's a little better. Where, for example, one of the things I realized as we were getting ready for our Blood Bowl League, and also as I was getting ready for our Necromunda narrative campaign, The Rise of Crossbones, was that it was actually really hard to figure out which books and things I needed to play the game. Necromunda was the first one. There's currently 6 books out, plus the extra softcover book that comes in the starter set. And it wasn't clear, for me at least, just kind of jumping into it, having not played it for a couple of years since they were doing the gang war books and the rule books a little differently. exactly what I needed. Blood Bowl was even worse. I wasn't sure because there's things like Death Zone Season 1, Death Zone Season 2, there's the almanacs and all the magazines, and then there's the actual rule book, but you can only get the rule book inside of the starter set. So I'm like, so is that not necessary anymore? And there's the coaches pack and all of that. And so now that we've gotten into it, I can actually make videos and say, here's what you need. If you want to get into Blood Bowl, here's what you need. You don't need all of this, you need this. And then explain also what that kind of stuff is. So I want to make a couple videos like that. Maybe do it for 40K and Age of Sigmar as well, although I honestly feel that one's a little more straightforward, but maybe that's just because I've been in it longer, so I've forgotten what it's like to be a beginner for these things. Like I still remember actually like getting into War Machine a decade ago, going and trying to figure out which book to get. And it's like War Machine Prime, War Machine Redux, War Machine this, War Machine that. And I'm like, well, which one's the rule book? Turns out War Machine Prime was the rule book, and these other ones were expansions. But it wasn't obvious. Sometimes, just call it a rule book, right? The Warhammer 40K rule book, Age of Sigmar rule book, or core rules, or something like that. Like, is that so hard? Why do we have to be fancy with our names? Anyway, so I want to make some videos about that. I want to do some retrospective reviews. I've brought home, what did I bring home? Gloomspite Gitz, Auric Warclans, Sylvaneth, Fire Slayers, Cities of Sigmar, because I've been playing them a lot, Ogre Maw Tribes, so those 6 books for Age of Sigmar. I brought home The Greater Good and Blood of Baal for some of the Genestealer Cult and Tyrannid stuff, although I've covered some of that already. I just want to kind of delve deeper into that. And just, retrospective reviews, the idea of those is that they're reviews of things that we've played enough of that we can really talk about what we think of them, rather than the first impressions, which we normally put out right away, which the best we can do is say, here's what we think. Whether we're right or wrong will be yet to be found out. So I want to make some of those as well. I also want to do some discussion videos. So if you guys have any topics of discussion, then go ahead and leave a comment for that below. So just say, here's a topic for you, discuss this. And those will be like 5-10 minute videos or longer, because I like to ramble, as you can probably tell. So I guess, what things would you like me to review? What games would you like me to make tutorials on how to get into? What topics would you like me to discuss? And how badly do you want to see a Battletech battle report? Maybe a campaign, but definitely a Battletech battle report. So let me know all those things. And stay tuned for all sorts of isolation content from me, from Dave, from Luca, probably a bit from Vito as well. And yeah, Steve's just taking the time off. So don't worry, he's not gone. He's just decided, well, it's a good time just to take some time off, and that's fine. So stay tuned for all of that. Let us know what else you'd like to see. And wish us luck. And you guys, good luck too. Stay safe, wash your hands. Happy wargaming.